We are praying. This is a meditation on Acts 12, verses 1 to 17. King Herod had started persecuting the church. He had James, the brother of John, put to death. And this pleased the Jews. And when King Herod saw that this pleased the Jews, he decided to put Peter into prison under very heavy security. And the night before Peter was to appear for trial, he was asleep, chained to two soldiers. And that night, an angel appeared, and light shone all around the cell. And the angel woke up Peter and told Peter, "Get up, put on your sandals, put on your clothes, put on your gown, and follow me." And the chains fell off. Peter got up and followed the angel. The angel led Peter past the heavy guard, and when they reached the gate miraculously opened, and the angel led Peter some distance from the prison along the main street. And it is then, when the angel left Peter, that Peter realized that he was not dreaming. He was not dreaming. But when Peter had been in prison, we are told that the brethren were praying. They were praying for Peter. We assume they were praying for Peter's well-being, Peter's health, Peter's life, Peter's release. So Peter was now released. And when Peter was released, this is when he realized that something unique had happened. All that time he had thought he had been dreaming, but suddenly realization came to him. He was free. And in his own words, he said, "Now I know without a doubt that the Lord has sent his angel and rescued me from Herod's clutches and from everything the Jewish people were hoping would happen." What the Jewish people were hoping would happen to him. Possibly that he'll be put to death by the sword, just like James, the brother of John, had gone through such a horrific situation. So, Peter, now released in the dead of night, alone in the streets, decided to go to the house of Mary, the mother of John Mark, where the brethren and many people were praying. We were not told what they were praying for at this particular time, but we had been told earlier that they were praying for Peter. So Peter goes as an answered prayer to the people who were praying for him. And he reaches the door and knocks at the door. But shh, people were praying. It is only the servant girl, a young girl, who heard the knock and went to check what is happening. And Peter was knocking at the outer door. He was not only knocking, but he was also speaking, because we are told the girl heard Peter's voice. And she was so overjoyed that she ran back to where people were eagerly, intensely praying, and told him, "Peter is here. The answer of our prayer is here." But they told her, "You're out of your mind." That was the first response when they were told, "Peter is here. The one you have been praying for is already out. He's safe. He's alive. He's at the door. You are out of your mind." And the young girl insisted, "No, I know Peter's voice. Peter is here." Then they changed the tune. Now they say, it must be his angel. You must remember, these are people who are praying intensely. They had faith that the answer would come for their prayer. Yet when the answer comes, their first response is, "You're out of your mind," or "It was Peter's angel." But when Peter insisted on knocking, they came to the door, opened the door, and there was Peter. And they were so excited, maybe they started making noise, maybe a lot of hallelujahs, until Peter motioned to them to be quiet. Peter gave them the testimony of his release, what he had gone through up to the time he was at the door. Assuming they opened the door and they got into the house. The answered prayer had come into the house to the point of prayer. He told them what has taken place. And then he told them, "Go and tell James and other brothers and sisters what has happened. Go and witness to the brethren." This message, this experience was for the brothers and sisters, the church leadership, James and brothers and sisters. Go and tell them what has happened. And then Peter, a lone figure in the dark, walked away to another place. What do we learn about this? We learn that sometimes when the answer has come, we are so busy praying that we have no time to listen to the answer. Sometimes we despise the bearer of the answer. Rhoda, just a servant girl. Sometimes we do not want to accept the proclaimed good news, answer to our prayer. Sometimes we find we want to continue praying because sometimes our quiet time has become such a noisy, pleasant time that we go on auto. We do not listen to the answer. Peter motioned them to silence and gave them the testimony of what God had done. Go and tell James and brothers and sisters what God has done. Listen to the answer. Tell the brethren about the answer, even if the answer is brought to us by the servant girl. The answer is often right at the door.